Today we have a viewer requested review, sort of. Someone asked us if Deathlok was any good. So here is Deathlok issue 2, which is part 1 of the first big story arc on his ongoing. I only have 2 Deathlok stories. This one and the mini-series that introduced them. Now, it would make more sense to review that, to review the first issue of the mini-series that introduced this version of the character. But that is a really, really good issue. And I thought it would create a false impression that they are all that good. So instead, here is Deathlok 2, which is a story I like, but it has plenty of problems. This video is going to be all my problems with this story. One thing to bring up immediately is this was the first ongoing comic Tom Beavort ever edited, and I would love to throw all my criticisms at him, and I do think most of them could have quickly been fixed with a good editor. The premise of this story is someone is gunning around and capturing robots in the Marvel Universe. Except the definition of robot and definitions in general seem to be very, very bad. Cyborgs, I can understand being lumped in with robots, but we also fucking include anyone with bionic limbs or mechanical implants, like we have Pam Grier and Forg here. You could forgive it and say that the bad guy is being ridiculously thorough in his acquisition of machines. But the story and the script fucking acknowledges it and tries to fucking justify it very badly. The other thing, this comes into play with what I just mentioned, the justification. Pam Grier and Forg, 2 characters who have never shared a scene before. They are apparently really, really good friends. Fucking shite. This is written by Dwayne Milestone, and it does feel like a prototype for the sort of character he would have done at Blackstone Comics. In fact, some of the big problems here would make more sense in a Blackstone book. Deathlok, this character, this is the second version of Deathlok, although technically the third, or even more technically the 5th. But whatever, this one is the best one, I think. The idea is he was a man, he was a middle-aged black man, which is a demographic not often seen among superheroes. He was killed and then resurrected as a zombie cyborg. The thing that sets this apart from the other Deathloks and a lot of other heroes is that the guy was a pacifist. So now we have this classic juxtaposition of a pacifist being the ultimate killing machine. Lovely stuff. You know a comic is laden with troubles when I haven't even found time to complain about Pam Grier being rammed into an issue again. I fucking hate this character. I think she is an embarrassment. She doesn't belong in comics. This is something that should have died out in the 70s and only ever shown up again as an ironic joke after that. Much like the real Pam Grier. She is a stereotype based on exploitation movies, and I didn't understand how nobody has gone, I think it's time to revamp and update this humiliating relic of a racist decade. Right, this bullshit. The idea is that there is an underground community within the Marvel Universe, a secret group, an unspoken bond between anyone and everyone in the Marvel Universe who is robotic or cybernetic or has a fucking prosthetic arm. That is how Pam Grier and Fogg are best friends. They are members of the same secret community. It's bullshit. It doesn't work. And the comic really hammers home some fucking horrifically blunt analogy about race here. You've just swapped black with robot, and it's shit. It's really, really shit. Oh, people hate us robots. People don't give us robots opportunities. People don't treat us robots as equals. It doesn't work. She could wear a glove and nobody would know. Now, this idea, the underground robotics community thing, this would maybe work at Blackstone Comics. It don't work at me Marvel Comics, that's for sure. And it's not the politics or the political ideas that I'm against here. It's not even the transparent analogy for black people. It's the shit way that it is written and developed as an idea. It's poor. I like Dwayne Milestone. I like a lot of his work. I even like the rest of this story. But this is something that any editor should have gone, that doesn't really work. It's a bit flimsy. It's a bit sanctimonious with no basis or footing. Now, I saw a review online that was praising this as being an incredibly ahead of its time analogy for trans people. Fuck off. In 1991, fuck off. Dwayne Milestone, very, very well versed and authoritative when it comes to race and racial issues. That is true, but like fucking hell is this man also by chance the most insightful and well-informed person on trans people in a time where the only real definitions of trans people were pre-op and post-op. In 1991, nobody was consciously considering all the different facets of gender, or gender reassignment, or gender dysmorphia. I didn't want to piss on a dead man, But as great as Dwayne McMilestone was with topics of racial equality, he was probably as ill-informed on trans people as any non-bigoted person in 1991. So next, Deathlok is targeted for capture. Despite all my gripes and implying Dwayne McMilestone might even have been a TERF, I have a fondness for the main story at play. I think Deathlok, this version, is a good character, and Dwayne McMilestone is a good writer when he's not delivering a very mangled, broken analogy. Pam Grier is even tolerable after this issue. I don't know why she's there still. That is often a problem I have with this character. It seems a bit oddly racist. Like her race is the main thing that is making her a supporting character in this story, rather than someone who was captured at the start like Fogg was. I think this issue has had the reverse effect of what reviewing the first appearance would have had. Now, you all think this series is ham-fisted tripe that a website ran by a Kurt Busey fanboy will convince himself and try and convince everyone else is about society not accepting trans people and grouping them all together like robots are grouped together in this story. They have to know Dwayne McMilestone is black. They have to know that race was the obvious thing he was playing on here. They have to. Speaking of people of different colours, what the blinking eckaroonie is going on with Cyclist's colour scheme here? So, Deathlok and Pam Grier, they find the bad guy's headquarters. And look, I like this. We have a bunch of robots and people who are not robots being held captive. We have Fogg, we have Ultron, we have Bushwhacker Bob, who last time I checked was a mutie, not a machine. We have Ruby Tuesday, a bad guy from the Defenders. We have Fembot's Ed, C3PO, and then we have Fogg again, because we have gone around in a circle. I like this. If anything, with how loose the definition of robot is, I would have loved to see about 20 more characters here. Where is the Vision? He'd be like one of the first names to come to mind. And the bad guy is then revealed as Mr. Doom. What? No, it's not. Spoilers. It is a Doom bot. It's okay though, because it turns out to not just be a Doom bot, but a fully digivolved Doom bot. It's like a mega level Digimon Doom bot. I really like it, and I wish they didn't bother with this fake out, because I would prefer to see more of the digivolved Doom bot. Do I recommend this? Probably not. As a single issue, absolutely not. The story arc I have some patience for. Some nostalgia, sure. And didn't be thinking for a minute that I'm not going to highlight this. What a get. Fogg is going to sell this, isn't he? Everybody loves Fogg. They had to put him on the cover or nobody would have bought this. I will give it a 7 thumbs up for that.